Welcome in this fourth lesson on the Graal language. So in our previous lesson we've seen how we can replace or split a field. Now we will look at how we can compare different string and different columns together and how to use the if condition. So the string comparison is basically evaluating value from one field or column against an expression or another field and return a Boolean true false answers. If there is no value to compare, please bear in mind that refine will generate an error. So for this lesson we will use again the Toronto Place of Interest project. So what I will do first is compare the address in the address clean and old address field to see where they are the same. I will do that in a custom text facet. Basically, to compare two strings, what you need to add is two equals, and now you want to compare the current value with the content of the old address column. So as said, if one address is one of the two entity is blank, it will generate an error. Here the old address is blank, for example, so refine generate error cannot retrieve from null. And after, you just do a straight comparison and return true or false. I will click OK. To create a new facet with 122 false, 17 true, so addresses that didn't change from one to another, and 31 errors. So using two equals, you can easily do straight comparison between two strings. So what we've seen before is you can use a text filter to look for a specific subset of string. For example, all websites that contain .ca. And here we see we have 99 matching rows. You can also do the same thing through a Graal expression. So I will click website, custom text facet, and I will use the expression contains, putting my argument between quotes, to evaluate if the content of my column contains .ca. Click OK. It creates facet with a true false, and if I click true, I have my 99 matching rows. So next two expression we will see is start with and end with, and we do that with a phone number, where we look for all the phone numbers that actually start with 416. So I create a facet, custom text facet. The expression I want to use is start with, and then the argument I want to evaluate is start with 416. Same thing, refine create a true false value where I can quickly select the 38 phone numbers that doesn't start with 416. Here we see it's either 647, which is the other 3-digit indicators for the Toronto area, or the 311 number to call the city services. I can quickly change a facet by clicking the change here, and go back in the expression mode. This time I don't want the phone numbers that start with 416, but I want all the phone numbers that end with 0. So I select end with, argument is 0, and same way refine will create true false facet, so we can select, for example, all the phone numbers that don't end with a 0. So the if function have exactly the same syntax as if function in spreadsheet software, where first you enter your test, and then what happens if the test is true, and what happens if the test is false. And the following example, we keep using the Toronto Place of Interest project. So the first things we want to do is, if the parent, so I will remove all my column. If the parent's page 1 is blank, I want to use information from the category from the category field. So I will create first a facet on parent's page 1. So here I see I got 42 blank information. So one quick way to do that will be to select blank and use a transform function import from the category field. And because we have selected only the blank value, it will apply this transformation only to the cells that had a blank parent page 1. However, goal of this lesson is to use the if function. So I will undo my change and create a transform on my parents page 1. And what I want to do is evaluate if my current value is blank. If it is, retrieve the information from the category field. If it isn't, so if there is content, keep the current content. Or the isBlank function takes the argument between the parentheses. So here we see current function. So if my value is blank, which is the case in the first line, get the data from the category field, attraction. If not, like in second case, just keep it see and do, remain see and do. So here we've done exactly the same changes.